Thank you, healers, for all that lovely energy in the room. And now I'd like to introduce our speaker, Reverend Howard, who's been devoted to this chapel for 6 years and always has something inspiring and fresh for us to look at. Reverend Howard.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So today I would like to speak about integrity. Now, integrity is one of those words that has a lot of meanings. An object can have integrity, like this chair. So if it is constructed correctly so that it fulfills its function, it is said to have integrity. And so we can sit on it safely and not have it collapse underneath us. It's amazing when you think about it that a child that weighs 30 pounds or an adult that weighs 300 pounds can sit on that same chair. And the chair that has integrity will still hold them. There may be large objects, like a bridge, that says to have an integrity. The stanchions, the supports, the cables, the roadway all come together to create this object to fulfill a purpose. And in order for us to be able to do that, this bridge has to have what's called its integrity, be put together correctly. If some natural disaster happens, like an earthquake or flooding, engineers have to go out there and check that to make sure that the integrity is still within the bridge, so we can use it. So, objects, things can have integrity. Recent years, we've talked about the ozone layer being eaten away a little bit by the emission of greenhouse gases, fluorocarbons. And it's said that the integrity of the atmosphere was being compromised. Now, this is a big thing because our atmosphere is what keeps us from frying up from the radiation that comes from space, the sun, and other areas. So the integrity of our atmosphere is very important. It's good to know, recently I read that they say that the ozone layer, that the hole in the ozone layer has shrunken significantly because of the work that we've done to stop putting these greenhouse gases in. So that's one form of integrity. Now, usually when we think of integrity, we think of moral conduct, how we are, how we act. And there are words that I associate with integrity, like trustworthiness, honesty, truthfulness. Being called trustworthy, either if you give somebody that responsibility, say, I trust you, you're trustworthy, or you receive that, is a very beautiful thing. That means that I have ultimate trust in you. So if I'm going away for a weekend and I ask you to take care of my cats because I think you're trustworthy, that is the ultimate words I can say to you on how much I respect you, because my cats, besides my wife, are the most important things in my life to me. So that means that I will count on you to go there when we made arrangements for that to happen, to do the things that we agree that you're going to do, like feed them and clean the litter box out, however much that might be fun, give them fresh water, maybe spend a little time with them, give them a little TLC. That also means that I trust that you're not going to pilfer my house when I'm not there and go through it and take things like jewelry or money or whatever. So that means the trust is complete. So trusting someone else or being given a trust is a very beautiful thing. Also talk about honesty as part of integrity. Now in honesty there's a little bit of a stretch. And we usually think about honesty as telling the truth. Okay? And being straight with somebody. But then there's the old example of the wife who asks her husband, does this dress make me look fat? And the conundrum that the husband is in, because if he says yes, he knows he's going to get a hard time. If he says no, and later on the wife looks in the mirror and sees this dress does make her look fat, she's going to say, he's been lying to me. So that's what we call a no-win scenario. So we stretch the truth or the honesty every so often. And we call this, for some reason, a little white lie. And I've never figured out why I call it a white lie, because when I think about white, I think about pure and translucent and such. And when we're doing that, we're being a little bit more deceitful. We should really call it a little black lie, not a little white lie. So we have how we act with other people as an important part of our integrity. And this goes in a lot of ways very deep, because it's not only the words you say, but it's the words you think, the thoughts you think. And if you are judging somebody about how they are or who they are, you're not being morally full of integrity, because you are basically comparing yourself with them or with other people and such like that. So judgment is one of those things that kind of breaks the barriers of integrity. Now, I can honestly say that in my life, there have been times when I have broken the confidence of trustworthiness. There have been times when I have not been honest. And I look back at those times and I say, okay, why did you do that? What did you do? And how do you make amends? And oftentimes you can't. The only thing that you can really do is say, don't do it again. And this really leads me to the crux of what we're talking about today. Because it really doesn't matter what you say or do to others. Because there is only one person in this whole universe that you are responsible to answer for, and that is yourself. Because when all's said and done, and you go home or you're in your quiet time, you live with yourself at all times. And I know what you can do is kind of like a little bit of a balance sheet. You can kind of look and say, okay, these are all the things that I didn't do wrong, where my integrity was compromised. And when you do that, you can call that's your karmic balance sheet. And the longer that sheet is, the more you can say, I have this far to go before I can really reach a point where I feel I'm really on a point of positive evolution. Again, there's no judgment here. We all have it. And the truth is, that's part of the reason why we have incarnated here on this planet, to work these things out, to develop what we call integrity. So all of us are responsible for only ourselves about that. So I'm going to keep it short today, but what I want to do is I want to read a poem, one of my favorites, that talks to me about exactly you're responsible for yourself and your life. Some of you, I'm sure, are familiar with this. It's been pretty popular over the years. And it's a poem that is given credence to by Mother Teresa. She's given credit for this currently, but I understand that it has appeared in other places previous. It's called Anyway. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone can destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and your God. It was never between you and them anyway. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, Howard.